The Redmi 5 is taller, wider, sleeker and a little heavier than its predecessor, the Redmi 4. The camera is placed right above the fingerprint sensor and not the top left corner, which I think is the right place. From the front, the phone looks exactly like the Note 5, which means more screen space and less bezels. As a result, the physical navigation keys have been removed. Like previous Redmi phones, it has rounded corners, a flat back and curved sides. The metal back feels sturdy. In fact, it feels like a thick and tall slab of metal with a fingerprint sensor at the rear, which is super quick, which is quite impressive. Despite its bigger form factor, the phone feels easy to use and fits well in the palm. The phone has a 5.7 inches IPS display with an 18:9 aspect ratio and 720p resolution. The phone does not retain the smaller display size, but it still has an excellent HD Plus panel like its predecessor. Colors look vibrant, but it's visibly dim compared to other displays. Sunlight visibility remains suboptimal, but auto brightness makes up for it. Overall, it's a colorful display with cool color tone, wide color gamut and decent viewing angles. For those who like playing games and consuming media on their phones, this is one of the best displays found on a phone at this price point. But the disappointing fact is that Xiaomi is yet to update its 2018 range of phones to Android Oreo. The phone comes with the latest version of MIUI 9 along with its features, but it's stuck on Android Nougat for the time being. The Redmi 5 rear camera is a 12 megapixel sensor with 2.2 aperture and PDFA. The results were quite impressive for its price. Pictures clicked in daylight looks clear and has enough sharpness, but the dynamic range isn't up to the standard. There were two camera issues that I spotted. First, the uneven exposure under bright sunlight, and other is the stability. You need to have a steady pair of hands to get a clear shot, especially when the HDR mode is on. The autofocus is quick, there's zero shutter lag and it takes no time to process images. But in low light, the quality of pictures degrade. There's visible noise in the picture and even the well-defined shot lack detail. Front camera is a 5 megapixel shooter with LED flashlight. The day selfies look good, but they aren't as sharp as they look on the phone's display. Now talking about the phone performance, the phone runs on Snapdragon 450 chipset and comes in 3 RAM variant, 2GB, 3GB, 4GB. Initially the Redmi 4 showed no sign of slowing down. Basic operations like opening, closing apps, making calls, switching between windows, browsing, watching videos was smooth, so I decided to load it with some graphic intense games. I installed Injustice 2 and Asphalt Extreme to test the device gaming performance. Surprisingly, the phone didn't struggle to run the game. During gameplay, Injustice felt fluid. There was no visible latency or frame drops. The only part where I spotted tiny hiccups was when it was switching between the fight and the story, but it wasn't something very major. While playing Asphalt Extreme, it did struggle after a certain amount of time. For the first 15 minutes there was no sign of lag or heating, but eventually I could feel slight heat around the camera. For the price, you're getting the best possible performance you can expect. The Redmi 5 has a 3300 mAh battery with no support for fast charging in comparison to the 4000 mAh on the predecessor Redmi 4. We expected a relatively shorter battery backup on the Redmi 5 compared to the previous Redmi phones. During the usage, the phone could easily last a whole day with the basic usage. Even for an aggressive user, 6 to 7 hours of battery backup is the least you can expect. Because of its price, the phone is a good option for those looking for a reliable phone under Rs 10,000. It does everything that a mid-range phone can do at less half than of its cost. also users interested in Redmi Note 5 who also need a compact phone can buy the Redmi 5 to have a similar experience at a lesser price. Since there are 3 variants at different price points, so a lot depends on how much you're willing to spend. 3GB 32GB variant looks like a good option for those who have a fixed budget and want a phone that can sail through the basic tasks. If your budget is not restricted, then buy the Redmi Note 5, the 3GB 32GB variant at Rs 9,999. It offers a large battery, bigger display, a 6-inch Full HD Plus screen, more powerful chipset that is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 625, and a slightly better camera for an extra Rs 1,000.